It was, yeah, so it was. Go ahead.
Okay.
All right, I'm here, but I'm in a car, so.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to have background noise because there's background people talking. Got out of the restaurant late.
Okay. All right, everybody. So for tonight's call, we actually are just going to recap from our last few weeks, which is awesome because it helped jumpstart us to get to executive. And then try to go over some subjects that maybe people have been still struggling with or working on, and discuss some things that we can do to help propel our businesses. So I'll go ahead and start with some things that I felt like I really benefited from going back through a lot of this training, because the nice thing about this training is it's always there and it's always available to us to go back through, get the information. And I feel like each time you go through, there's going to be some things that maybe you missed or you kind of skipped over or didn't really dig deeper into. Or as you grow, there might be things that you need to work a little bit more on. So there was a few things that, especially when it came to like closing, following up with leaders. I think before when I was going through it, I didn't have as many leaders under me. So it wasn't really as much of a focus on how I was helping support them as much as how I was building. So I do think that going back through a lot of this information helped me with some of that. Also, a lot of the reading references, things about growing ourselves, making sure that we're implementing that, as well as the way we communicate and talk to others, make sure we're doing more listening than talking. I really, really appreciated that from this training, being able to see the videos, to really see like Scott and Brenda discussing very specifically actionable things that we could do. So those are some of the key things that I benefited from with this training. I know the first time I went through the training, that along with implementing the 1090 really helped propel me to go ahead and hit that level of executive. So now I'm going to be really, really focused on trying to hit the next rank of silver. But that's all the stuff that I had got. I didn't even look who else is on the call.
Hi, I just joined in the middle of what Dana was saying.
Oh, hey, how are you?
I'm hanging in there.
So I was just kind of recapping some of the things that I benefited from, things that I wanted to try implementing. But I pretty much finished.
This is because I'm so new to the company and I'm new to the whole process. I hadn't started the Vital 180 training before we started doing it in this call. And with my schedule, it was hard to kind of keep up with actually doing all of the parts. So I definitely want to go back and do them with purpose, at my own pace. But I really appreciated the education because going through it with a group like this helped me to see a lot of the applications application of the information beyond my purview. Like my narrow view was really expanded by all of your input and bringing what it meant to you, bringing that to the table. So I really appreciated that. the materials themselves, Scott and Brenda have such a low key, mellow way about them that you never feel rushed or put upon, but the option is always there for you to go further, for you to dig harder. So I appreciated that, because sometimes I've been exposed to some trainings in the past for other companies, and it's always 100% go, 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 go. And when you are not in a position where you can go, 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 go like that, you feel like you can't do it. But they're like, look, if it takes, this is what people can do it in, but if it takes you, twice as long or 3 times as long or whatever, you do what works for you. And I really kind of appreciated that. And yet it was still encouraged for you to do more, because, that's only going to benefit you. It wasn't like, that's not going to benefit me, it's going to benefit you. You're the one that's making your business. So I really did appreciate that. But one of the things that I think has impacted me was, I just finished listening to GoPro from beginning to end. I listened to it going back and forth to work every day. And that was on my list to cover someday. That was on my list to cover at some point. And even though I had seen little videos here or there from Eric Worre, and I could see the value in what he was saying, actually going through that book was quite remarkable, because him bringing his experience and the experiences of other people who have done various network marketing, have been in various network marketing companies before, and hearing how their choices impacted what their outcomes were, and then him saying, okay, but if you do it this way, this works better, and here's why, and here's some examples. That really made such a huge difference. So I probably would not have listened to that audio book as soon as I have. So I'm very, very thankful for you guys putting this all together, and for making it possible to have those resources. It's definitely something that it's going to make a difference in how I do things from here on out. I'm still going to have to go at the snail's pace that I can physically go at, but it's going to make a big difference in how I do certain things. So I really, it's going to be night and day for me, definitely.
Sorry, I'm having trouble navigating this thing. I'm like, how do I unmute myself? But that's awesome. Yeah, that's very encouraging to hear. So that's great. And I do love, though, in this business, it's all about moving at the pace that you can. Because I know even in my own circumstance, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, so there are times where I get frustrated because I want to move faster. But it's like the reality is I have to be balanced and reasonable with certain things. But I do feel like what's most important is that you're constantly having forward motion and moving, even if it is at a little bit slower of a pace. Mm-mm. Tashina, did you have anything to add, or are you still?
If Anthony can go, I'll be ready in 5 minutes. I'll be in my hotel.
Okay, Anthony's not on. He's downstairs entertaining people.
Okay. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Well, while Tashina's trying to get herself together, let me just add that if there's anybody listening to this replay, don't poo-poo the process. If this is your first time with network marketing, there is value in the entire process, even the things that you may look at and go, what do I really need to do that for? And what's interesting is that what Scott and Shannon brought out, you see the same information in other network marketing pros advice. I mean, it mirrors, so there's definitely something to it. They know what they're doing, and they wouldn't be where they are if they didn't do that themselves. So take advantage of it, and all those little pieces that you don't think are necessary, do it, because it's going to make the difference for you down the line. You know, there was something that in the end of Eric Worre's book, and I had it in my mind, I was like, oh, I got to bring that out on the call, and right now it's escaping me and making me totally crazy that I can't remember what it is. Hopefully before 9 o'clock I'll remember.
I do want to add to your point. I do feel like for some reason, when we get into multi-level marketing, we feel like, oh, there's this shortcut, like that's gonna be this quick thing that I'm gonna do. And it is so important to follow the process. Like if you're, you know, a surgeon and you're doing open heart surgery, like there's a certain process and procedure step by step that you need to go through in order to be successful. And so in the same way, in this business, like you can't be like, oh, I'm just going to do the getting started training. Well, yeah, that's great. But if you're trying to go beyond, there's all of these little steps and they're not hard, which is the awesome thing, is like, it's not difficult. It's just sitting down, really going through the system and actually implementing these little things. And that's what makes the difference of people that are successful at multi-level marketing and those that are not successful at multi-level marketing. Like, you will succeed if you just stick with it. Like, you can't stick with it for a day or two and think that, oh, well, it's not working. Well, did you go back and go through the entire process? And so again, that's why I do feel like it's so important to continuously go through this training, because as I'm going back through this training, it's like I'm stuck, but it was this few steps in here that I was not implementing or I skipped over. So I need to go back on that and I need to hone in on that and work on that. So then I can go to the next level and grow.
Alrighty. I'm no longer with other people and available. Yeah, so Dana, I would echo the sentiments that you started out with for sure. For me, the first time that I went through the training, it was definitely about what do I need to do? How can I do this? How can I implement this to get me to executive, to get me to silver? And then when I was having issues maintaining my silvership, I went back through some of the executive training prior to this and some of the silver training. And it was very clear to me the things that I was missing. So as you said, and as we've mentioned in our previous trainings, this business really is simple. It's a numbers game. It takes a lot of time and it can be frustrating, and it's definitely not easy, but it's simple. It really boils down to if you can do 4 classes a month, if that works in your schedule, and if you can train 2 people. I mean, that's what the game plan tells us. That's what any other system tells you. And between that, there's something in the details that you have to learn in order to make yourself successful. So you might be having your classes, but you need help closing. You might be getting your classes done, but you haven't been able to train other people to do their own classes. So it really is, as you were mentioning, important once you get part of your steps down, making sure you know your weaknesses and re-going over those to fix those weaknesses. And at the same time, looking at how we can implement this better. For those of you that haven't got to the silver training, I think there's one book that really helped me as far as being able to coach, that was coactive coaching. And then Dana, like you were saying, just listening to people, like it's so important to listen to people so that we're aware what their needs. Like I was fortunate enough to do very well during the sale. And then yesterday I got another sale from a person that I've been interested in joining the business. And he just actually only signed up as a customer, but at least like I have his information and I can cultivate it with him. And I'm like, I've never even shown this person a presentation. He's in the health and wellness field and he knows of the oils, and I've used him and his services and he likes me and he decided to buy from me. I mean, that's really what it's about. Listening to people, building those relationships, sharing every way we can, you know, being visible with our sharing. And it's definitely not easy. It definitely takes a lot of time. It definitely takes a lot of numbers, but at the end of the day, it is simple. And GoPro talks about how there's certain steps and certain skills, and it's all about building those skills and then teaching other people to build those same skills. So that's it for me.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So what subject matters are people wanting more help with or thinking about? And I will go ahead and start. I know for me, something that I have been wanting to look more into is really connecting with businesses, really connecting with different companies and things like that. And I say that from the perspective of, I see that there's a need for the oils in a lot of different industries. Sometimes we want to limit ourselves to only wellness, but like, I went to a Southfield Chamber meeting, and it was actually, I don't remember exactly what the business is. I think it was like insurance or something like that, but they had a traditional like office space, cubicles, all of that. But she was like, oh, yes, we use oils, but they use doTERRA oils. And she's like, we diffuse in the office because I guess the owner or whatever is like, this helps my staff to be more relaxed and to concentrate. And so for him, it made sense to invest in the oils to have at the company. So that got me thinking like, man, so like sometimes I'm thinking, oh, I can only go to, you know, beauty salons, or I can only go to different wellness things, but really our target market could be a lot larger than what we're even realizing. So I guess for me, it would be nice to, just like with our Vital 180 training, having a step-by-step, like say this, now that, do this. It would be kind of nice to see some role play and how to approach a business and kind of grow from there too.
So I'm pretty sure that we do have many individuals that have success with that on the team. So it's just a matter of reaching out to them and making sure that they do that. I know when I work the chambers, that is something that I definitely do. I can't really necessarily say that I believe I have a lot of success in it, but when I say phrases as far as oils in every home, I say things like oils in every business as well. So I would definitely appreciate some more assistance in that. As I said, I'm fairly sure that we do have individuals that are, at the very least, they're at the fringe, right? We have some individuals that have signed up elderly care or some different facilities that maybe not the direct chiropractor or health care practitioner. So I think there's plenty of individuals on the team that could do that. Andrea, any topics you were interested in?
Well, I know I mentioned it last week that I'd like to see more, like maybe some role play, whatever, with closings. I don't think I had a phenomenal closing to my party or the class when I had it. And I'm, trying to work the encouragement and sharing. I have a couple of people that are on the cusp of buying a kit, but not quite getting there. And the one girl, I lent my show kit to try, because I took a page from y'all's book and I gave it to her because she was a little worried about scents seemed to bother her. And I opened up a bunch of the oils, and after letting her smell them when we were all done, I asked her, I said, do you have a headache? And she said no. And so I just reiterated that, Young Living oils are different than other scents that she's used to. And but I thought she would benefit from having it in the house and trying it. And I'm following up with her, but she still hasn't opened the kit to do anything. When the sale came on last week, I mentioned it to her, and she was like a step closer, but not ready to commit, and I can feel that she's there, and I'm, wondering what is it maybe that I'm doing not quite right, or is it really that just not the right time? I actually even offered to come over to her house and show her how to put actually set the diffuser up in her home so she could try it. And she didn't really respond to that, yay or nay, either way. She just kind of like avoided the question. So, and I just thought, okay, is it my closings that aren't working well, or is, what? So I'd like to see a little of that at this point. But I would be interested in the business. I brought some of the pain cream over to my chiropractor's office for him to use. And he was like, yeah, he kind of likes it. I was like, okay, now what do I do now? And it turns out that one of the girls in his office is a Young Living distributor. But doesn't seem like she's really doing anything there with him on it. So it's kind of strange, but I would be interested to see how to handle that and maybe work him into a customer. If she's not going to do anything with him, I would like to see him using the oils more. I mean, he's my chiropractor after all,
Awesome. I was thinking too, because I do remember the group, I think it's still active, but it was Young Living Professionals, I think. And it did have some of the different occupations and people that are Young Living distributors and how they incorporate the oils in their practice. And Jim Bob actually did do a little excerpt in where he talked about as a chiropractor, like how to approach a chiropractor, how to talk to a chiropractor and things like that. So his video might be beneficial as well. Because I really did like how he worked it. And one thing that he had mentioned, especially if it's like your chiropractor or like, because he was like, in general, chiropractors do not like cold calling because they're just bombarded constantly with different products and different things or whatnot. But if this is like your chiropractor or, this is someone that you already have some type of relationship with, it's going to be so much easier to really connect with them and get in. Whereas everybody else is going to have to kind of build that rapport and build that relationship before they can just go in like, hey, use the oils or whatnot. So that probably would be a good one to check out.
That sounds great. Thank you. I will look for that.
Yes, I think maybe we can reach out to some of the other individuals that may have some experience and see if they can share what they have, see if they're available for the next week, and if not next week, the following week. And then, as usual, everyone do some research and put that maybe at the top of the list. And I would definitely, agree with that. I haven't, as of yet, attempted even cold calls, but the individual that does the craniosacral that I just signed up, I had 2 appointments with him. I talked about how he was an expert and I wanted to learn from him, and he could be a possible person that could speak at one of our future events because he has so much knowledge, and he decided to buy from me. So it was definitely because I had a personal relationship first and never tried to sell him anything really initially, that he decided, oh, I've been hearing from these people about the oils and I like her, so I guess I'll buy from her.
That's great.
Any other top priority topics? And of course, we'll just put it out there in the chat and ask other individuals for topics as well.
Yeah, because I would definitely, especially with my team, with some of my leaders, I would even love, like, if you're listening to the replay, like, what do you need in order to stay consistent? Like, is it the motivation, rah, rah, rah? Is it clear-cut system? Like, because everybody's personality is so different. So I would love to just kind of hear from some of the different leaders and some of the different people, what exactly are they looking for in order to grow and build their business? But I think that's it for me. So if there's nothing else, did anybody have any events or classes or anything that they want to promote or talk about?
I guess just on that topic, I would just say that I think it's hard for everyone to be consistent. And I think that even myself, the only thing that I've ever done consistently was stay plugged into the team. So whether it's making sure that when we did have these calls before, I was always available on the call, or getting to Shannon's events or getting to upline events when they were happening, that's pretty much the only thing that I've done to stay consistent. And I think that helps, not only when it comes to your business, but also to your health and wellness goals. So I've never been as consistent with my exercise routine, my healthy eating. Like, my whole eating has completely changed because of Young Living. And so I would just encourage individuals, if you're listening to the replay, to make sure you choose one thing to be consistent that will keep you at least plugged in some way. And then as far as events, for anyone on the Happy Oilers team that is a Spanish speaker, I am doing on June 5th, Tuesday, June 5th at 8:30, an online class open to everyone, a public class. And I will be trying to do a pared down version of basically the intro to oils that was just posted in the YL University. I think it was like 48 slides. Definitely not going to go through 48 slides. I think I pared it down to 35, and I'm going to see what I can pare down so I have at least 2 minutes per slide. And then we're also doing another huge spa party in the Waterford area, Oakland County area, where I will have all of the new makeup. So all of the new shades that came out, that's going to be June 23rd or 24th, Sunday the 24th.
Awesome. I will say too, if you're in this area on June 9th, which is Saturday, we will be doing a class in the Southfield or Metro Detroit area. And this will actually be a specialty class where we're going to talk about sleep. So if you are in the area, plug into that one as well. It'll be in Southfield. Then other than that, everyone should be at convention. It's not too late. So convention. So excited about that. And then also I will just say and put that out here, July will be the next rally. So whether you do this online, now really would be the time to kind of get your troops together. Even if it's small, a couple people at the house, or if you're going to do something a little bit bigger, now really is the time to kind of start thinking about that and planning for that. So if there's nothing else, we'll go ahead and conclude here. We're right at 9 o'clock.
Perfect timing.
Night.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, should we go back to the last couple minutes?